Welcome back, real estate investors. My name is Chris Knight. I'm the business development manager here with Red Door Property Management, and I am super proud to be joined by Mike Taylor, broker owner here at Red Door. Mike, how are you?
Excellent, Chris. Super excited for this as well. We got a new layout here. We got some new data points and new year. Like I'm just so pumped for this market report.
I know we're changing it up. So it's going to be a bit bumpy today, I'm sure, because this is all new market data that we're going to be bringing all of our real estate investors, new and old, for all of the information, not only rental data, but sales data as well. So if you're looking to enter any of these markets, anything in the Indianapolis metro area, this is information that you're going to want to stay glued to month after month so that you know that you're putting your investment dollars in the right area. So without further ado, I say we jump in. Let's start with Indianapolis, the inner city Indianapolis market. Mike, I'll let you take over. Let's rock.
Yeah, let's do it. So this is January. One thing just to kind of mention on this new layout is that we have broken it out a little bit differently in the past. And so we're not going to have some historical numbers like we had before, like the number of active homes. This is we're teasing the information out a little bit more. And so the numbers might change from last month or last year if you continue to watch these market reports. And so just wanted to kind of take a note of that. And so what we're doing is we're breaking it down into single family home data. We're also going to include condos and townhomes, and then we're also going to include apartments because there is a really big difference. I mean, we'll go through it here just so you can see. But and then we're also excited to, I think, probably have a little bit more accurate data on the days on the market. Last year we struggled a little bit with that, and some we couldn't even report because there wasn't a ton of data. So we've got a new data set and feel real good about having that days on the market there, have it be more accurate this year. So super excited about that. But without further ado, let's jump into it. So number of active homes, and this is rentals. Okay, so we're going to do rental data, and then sales data. So starting off with the rental data, there's 1,086 homes on the market. Again, we don't have year over year data. But that is down slightly month over month, 2%. Just from our knowledge of last market reports, the number of active homes has remained pretty steady and pretty consistent with last year. So no huge change there. Average rental price in Indianapolis is $1,610, and year over year that's about a 4% increase. So that's pretty decent. And then month over month, that's just under a 1% increase there. Days on the market, 57. So that's not awesome, but it is January, so it's not unheard of. It just kind of is what it is. January is a tough time or December really is a tough time to lease your home. So I'd like to see that go down. I would think that we would see that go down as we get into the spring season, but it is what it is. 57 days right now. And then this is a data point where sometimes we get this, and so we started to include this. This is the price per square foot for a rental, and I think you see this more on multifamily than you do on single family, but I think it's definitely a data point worth following and worth looking at. You can see month over month it jumped, almost 12%. So we don't have historicals yet on this, but we will keep an eye on it. So the average price per square foot for single family homes in Indianapolis is $1.15. So just something interesting to watch. And then, as I mentioned, we kind of broke out, and we have data now on apartments and townhomes. So the top graph that you're going to see there in between is for apartments. The apartments, there's 793 apartments in Indianapolis for rent right now, with an average rental price of $1,084. So this is kind of one of the reasons that we broke it down, is what a big price difference between average rental price for single family and average rental price for apartments. So 1610 for single family, 1084 for apartments. But then your price per square foot, obviously, typically apartments are going to be smaller, and you're going to get more price per square foot. So $1.50 in the price per square foot for apartments. And the next graph is townhomes. So we've got 128 townhomes, and average rental price there for a townhome in Indianapolis, $1,595. And then average days on the market for a townhome is very similar to single family, 54. And then, not surprisingly, the price per square foot is kind of in the middle at $1.24 price per square foot for townhomes for Indianapolis. I don't want to go over all three of these graphs, but they are just kind of available for your guys' consumption. But you can see on almost all three, single family and apartments, and townhomes is kind of held even. But uh, the the average rent is up year over year, which is super super good. And then the only other thing I want to comment on these graphs down here is on the single family homes. It looks like it's returning to kind of normal. That's a relatively normal graph where we see the increase in the summer and then it kind of dips off in terms of average rental price for the winter season. So, last couple of years, we've been doing this for a couple of years now, Chris, we've
Right.
seen spikes and uh, peaks and valleys, and it's been wild. This is kind of a return to normal. So that's kind of cool to see.
Yeah, yeah. The real estate market has been trying to find quote unquote normalcy here for a couple years, and I think to your point, I think we're finally starting to see it here. One thing I just wanted to mention there on number of active homes, you'll probably notice the year over year is currently in A, which we do intend on building that data over time. And then again, just reiterating Mike's point, the graphs there at the bottom are just primarily for your consumption, but over time it is for us to highlight trends that are happening in each individual market. And in addition to this, we will have a graphic that you'll be able to find on all of our social media channels, which if you're looking for where you might be able to find those, you can see those there at the bottom of this graphic. So go take a look, and we will include a special graphic, which will include these average rent price trends over time. These graphics here at the bottom, they will include all of the submarkets as well. So you can really get a snapshot of the entire Indianapolis and surrounding markets all in one nice, neat graphic. So I think it's going to be sweet. We are looking forward to your feedback as you begin to digest this information, and we'd love to bring you more information that you feel would be helpful to your specific search here as you're looking for a new real estate investment property. I think that does it for the Indianapolis rental data. You want to jump over to sales?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, here we go.
So this is also something new for us that we talked a little bit about sales data. We had, I think, average sales price and then number of homes sold, but didn't really dive too deep into it. And we work with investors all the time, and this is kind of a big piece of the puzzle. If you're looking to purchase a home, you need to know what's going on with the buying of it. And so we've decided to expand the sales data a little bit with its own kind of graphic and a few more pieces of information here for you. So we're going to look at the average sales price. And again, this is when we do these, we look at it from an investor point of view of under $500,000. So we cap this at $500,000. So if you're looking for a home under $500,000, the average sales price in Indy is $241,269, which is, I say this every month, but it's just so incredibly affordable.
Yeah.
Nationwide, it's just even locally here, it's so affordable. 240, super affordable. Average days on the market is 53, and be curious to see. We haven't priced that, or we haven't done the trend on that. So I'll be curious to see how that trends over time, and see how that goes with the spring. I mean, it should trend down just like the rental market as well. The days on the market should go down as we get into spring and summer, but be curious to see. It's kind of been a weird sales couple of years, really. And so we were just having this discussion, Chris, is what's happening with the market. Are we kind of at an inflection point? We had a bit of a disagreement. You're seeing on the ground that it's kind of softening.
Yeah. So look, if you're watching this, here's a quick little peek inside of what it's like for us boots on the ground, real estate professionals, boots on the ground. The data that's coming out from even the local listing service here in the Indianapolis area, I argue all the time that by the time that data makes it to the consumer, it's already outdated, which again is a huge reason why you should be tuned in to this right here, because this is information I would argue that you're getting even ahead of the big services like the multi-listening service, excuse me. So what I'm seeing here on the ground is that the sales market is absolutely slowing. And I think that that's indicated here when you're looking at the average days on market year over year. You're up 26%, month over month, you're up over 8%. And then if you jump all the way over to the number of homes sold month over month, you're down 27%. So I think that well, I'm a little bit hesitant to mention it, but I do think that we are going to be entering much more of a buyer's market here in the short term. Now, do I think that there's anything indicating that home prices are going to plummet? No, not by any stretch of the imagination. But right now, there's no indication that there's anything that's going to be happening to interest rates. They're going to remain high. I
Yep.
think the other day they were at 8.1% for a 30-year fixed mortgage. So if that stays where it's at, without a doubt, the slow on the buyer side is going to continue, and I think it's going to slow. So hopefully that adjusts things to more of a buyer's market in the long term.
Yeah, I think my only counter to that, Chris, is that we're still not seeing the inventories that would be needed to kind of slow that down. So we might see more and more, but people still have those low interest rates they're hanging on to. They don't want to sell their house. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's going to be more of a balanced market than a buyer's market, but we'll see.
I know that the numbers do indicate that there's inventory is still low, and I do feel like it's probably still on the low side, but I don't know that those numbers have updated to where it's real time data. I mean, we have home builders here, even in this area, in this market, the local market, I would say is still doing quite well, and they have new build homes that are continuing to sit there longer than they have over the short term here recently.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, you can see it. I mean, average days on the market is 53. Be curious to see. Again, we haven't pulled this historical data, but
Right.
I would think if we looked at that a year or two ago, that would be a lot less than 53 days on the market. 53 is reasonable. That's a reasonable time on the market in terms of sales data.
Yeah, exactly. Gosh, it wasn't long ago where I swear that average days on market would probably be like 9.
3. yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right. Enough of that. Let's jump into our next market report. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's go. All right, Fishers. Now, if you haven't already checked out our just market updates, which is much different than our rental and sales market insights. Our market updates just goes over some over generalized market changes that are happening that might affect your investment dollars if you were to enter the market. So Fishers is one of those areas we did highlight. Mike, something you want to add there?
I think we're calling them economic insights. It sounds way more intelligent.
Oh my God, that's so much better. That's so much better. I don't know if they're titled that way. If they're not, we need to make sure they're titled that way. Economic update. So big changes happening to the Fishers area. So check that out if you haven't already. Now let's jump into the data here. Number of active homes currently in the Fishers market. We have 86 homes. And just like Mike alluded to on the previous market report, the Indianapolis market report, this is only single family homes. And then just below that, you'll see our little apartment indicator graphic, and then our townhome graphic there just below that. So important to understand that this first information box is all single family homes. Average rental price here in the Fishers market, $2,100, which is down 2.3% month over month, but it's up almost 2.5% year over year. Average days on market. Now, this data is going to be much different than what we've reported previous year, because the previous year included all of these residential units, single family apartments and townhomes. Well, now we're breaking them out just to appeal to the different types of investor that you may be. So the average days on market, although that is pretty close to where we have been in the Fishers market, it's closer to a more acceptable level. I prefer it to be closer to the 30-day days on market, but who wouldn't? Average price per square foot, which is another new informative data point that we're going to be adding. Month over month, you're up 1%, and it's just over $1, which is a little bit surprising to me. It's just over $1, because I believe in the Indianapolis market report, man, it was it's $1.03. Wow, you get more per square foot in the Indianapolis area than you do in Fishers. Does that not surprise you even a little?
You know what?
Maybe
We haven't been following that, so to me, it's a new data point. I don't have a ton of insight into that yet. I'm really curious to see how this plays out over the different areas and over time. So I don't know.
Okay, yeah, that'll be interesting. So let's jump into apartments. We have 18 apartment units on the market at $1,681 average monthly rents, with your square foot at $1.43, and then at townhomes, 22 active townhomes in the Fishers area at $22.95, with those average days on market averaging out at 66, with an average price per square foot at $1.28. The graphics there at the bottom is only to track trends over time. So it's only for your individual consumption. And then again, I want to reiterate, we will include all of our suburban market areas as well as Indianapolis in its own individual graphic that you can find on all of our social media channels. They're listed for your convenience there at the bottom of this graphic. Mike, anything you want to add about Fishers?
No, the only thing is, the single family homes price over time. It's cool to see the whole year at once of 2024, similar to Indy, where it has, what I say is like leveled out. This is a normal market where we see it peak in the summer and then dip in the winter. So I don't know, just kind of noticing that trend here of all of 2024 kind of normalizing, quote unquote.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to watch that, especially as it's broken down in between apartments and townhomes as well, and to see how those kind of correlate with single family homes. All that broken down, Dana. Townhomes over there is a little bit squirrely. A
little wild ride over there, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see if that continues. All right, let's get into the sales data. So if you're thinking about putting dollars in the Fishers market, this is exactly what you want to be tuned into. So your average days on market here in the Fishers area. I mean, here you go. Back to my original point, and I'm going to continue to point this out. And when my future insights, after looking in my crystal ball, turn out to be true, I'm going to make sure everyone knows I was right. So 54 average days on the market here in Fishers, month over month. You're up 31% year over year. Mike, you're up 50%.
That's crazy.
Yes, absolutely. If that doesn't scream that I'm right, I don't know what does. All right, average price, 100. Let's see. Average price per square foot on the sales data, $184 for your average price per square foot. Average sales price. Keep in mind this is guided by our investor point of view price points, which is anything from $0 to $500,000, which we see being really that investor point of view price points. So within that data set, your average sales price is $345,902, which is down month over month, but up year over year, as we have all seen in the news. Homes sold, 51 homes sold, which again, this number is obviously going to correlate with our average days on market. Average sold month over month, you're down 27% year over year. Oh, year over year, you're up 10%. It's not going to correlate every time. Average sales price over time, as we all know, home prices have ticked up over the previous year. We see that indicated there in the graph, and we'll see how that averages out over the year to come. Number of homes sold, that's just a sweet little graphic over there for your individual consumption. Mike, anything you want to add about any of those graphics?
No. Well, the only thing I do want to add is it is curious to see. Those are some crazy numbers, month over month numbers. Up 31% days on the market and down 27% number of homes sold. So again, we don't have the historicals because we haven't been pulling this data to see if that's maybe a blip. But gosh, if that continues, that's big. That's big news.
Yeah, homes sold, you're still up 10% year over year. That one caught me.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump in.
Just lack of inventory last year.
Yeah, let's jump into Noblesville, shall we?
Yep.
All right, market insights on the rental side for your Noblesville market. This is the market that I love, as everyone is currently aware. So number of active homes in the area. We have 73 currently active single-family homes in the Noblesville market. Average rental price at 2023, which is up just over 1% month over month, but down almost 8% year over year, which again is a little bit surprising. So
surprising.
I think in our previous market reports for 2024, I'm pretty sure consistently that number was positive. And I'm wondering now, taking a sneak peek there at the townhomes, if that was driven by townhome activity at 2,400. So your average single family home, 2023, average days on market is 47. Of course, that's higher than we prefer. If you're with Red Door, it's probably closer to 30. Average price per square foot in the Noblesville area is at $1.06. Now, this even beats Fishers as well as the Indianapolis market. Apartments coming up first, 25 active apartments in the Noblesville area at $1,558 as your average rent, $1.55 average square foot. And then, excuse me, that's apartments, townhomes coming up next. 18 active townhomes in the Noblesville market at 2,400, with your average days on market at 67. I
Mm.
guess people in Noblesville are preferring the single family home without a doubt.
Seems like it, but I mean, gosh, that price point is a lot higher for the townhomes. That means they're building some high end townhomes and they're sitting around on the market a little bit longer. So
Yeah, yeah. I don't even know where those would be. Where are they building new townhomes in the Noblesville area? Anyway, your
new
graphics
rental
there.
townhomes in Noblesville. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
The only ones I know are on Oleo here in McCordsville, and then I've seen some going up in the Fishers Market. But
Yeah.
checking out those graphics down below, we're going to be able to track trends over time. So your single family homes, apartments, and condos, and then your townhomes, and how those average rental prices are going to fluctuate over time. So that's going to be exciting to see over the coming year.
Yeah. Just one piece to add to that, Chris. The average rental price year over year down almost 8%. The only thing I do notice on that is if you look at that graph in the bottom left, for some reason in January, there was a big bump. If you look from December to January, I mean, a huge bump in January for some reason. So it seems like January was kind of a off month in a good way last year. So I don't know. We'll keep an eye on it, of course, over time. But it seemed like January of 24 was a bit of a blip.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. I wonder if that's going to correlate with inventory or anything like that.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on it.
Okay, jumping into the sales data for Noblesville, your market insights. Average days on market for a home in the Noblesville area is 35 days. Man, that seems pretty good. That seems stable. 30 days
Yeah.
on the market for yeah. Average price 175 per square foot. Average sales price in your investor point of view, which is $0 to $500,000, is coming in at 344,291. And your home sold, which is down 17%, but up 54%. God, those numbers are just huge. So your
Crazy.
number of homes sold in the Noblesville area is at 57. Average sales price over time is going to be super fun to watch, and you have all of your info there and the number of homes sold, how many within an individual $50,000 block. So take a look at that. Whatever fits in your budget, you're going to know. You're going to have a better insight into where you should be looking.
Yeah, one thing, and I know we kind of just gloss over this, and probably won't mention it too much, but um, in that bottom right graph, number of homes sold. One of the reasons that we wanted to include this was to highlight that so the average sales price is 344,291, right? But what I think that this bottom right graph highlights is if you look at that, there's 107 homes that sold under $250,000 in the Noblesville area. So even though the average sales price is 344, there are still homes under 300, even under 250 that are available for investors. I mean, most investors are going to want to purchase. I won't say on the lower end, but certainly want to be smart about the purchase. I mean, that's why we limit it to $500,000. You're not going to buy a $700,000 rental home. The return is just not going to be there. Typically, the return is on the more affordable homes. And so I just want to highlight that there's over 100 homes that sold last year in Noblesville under 250. And I think that's why we wanted to include that graph there to show you kind of what is truly available.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I would assume a lot of those are going to be value add opportunities as well. Yeah,
Or small. I mean, of course, they're going to be small little homes, or maybe a little townhome, something like that. Yes, of course, but they're there.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
All right, jumping over to Westfield, more your neck of the woods.
Yeah, Westfield. I love it, but it's. I don't know. I have mixed emotions about Westfield. If you caught our economic insights, there's still so much going on in Westfield. So much development, so much growth. That part is super super exciting. It is a amazing community. It's just going to get better and continue to grow. But in the short term, purchasing a brand new rental in Westfield is going to be tough.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be shown by these numbers here. So there's 66 homes, active homes on the market. Average rental price is 2,400, and look at that. That's down 10% year over year and 1.6% month over month. So we're feeling that with the vacants that we have in Westfield, they are a little bit tougher to fill, just because there is, I think, increased competition there right now, and I think maybe some unrealistic pricing going on that I think is we're seeing a bit of a correction here. So,
Yeah.
uh, just a word of caution for people who have a vacancy in Westfield right now is that it's, I don't know if it's a reset or what you want to call it, but pricing is kind of heading in the wrong direction at the current moment.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I call it a reset, but it's definitely a saturation issue,
Yeah.
and I have to highlight this because it does speak to the accuracy of our previous market reports, where we were indicating in the based on, again, on boots on the ground, based on the investor activity that was happening in the Westfield area, we were suggesting to our owners that we get ahead of price reductions to stay ahead of the competition. We were running a rental analysis for your standard condo that is going up in Westfield, and they were indicating close to $2,200 a month as a rental analysis. Which, if you're expecting to get into this market, you're going to pull one of those very similar rental analysis, and it's going to indicate $2,200. Hopefully, you're paying attention to this market report because guess what? You're not going to get $2,200 for a townhome. Now the data is starting to reflect that here in front of us. You'll see there in
Yep.
townhomes, the average monthly rent being at $2,025. That's what were we saying 2 months ago in the previous market reports, that we
Yep.
were suggesting if it indicates 2,200, you should be at 1995. Well, there you go. I hope that you have somebody in your other markets that you're investing in that's relaying data like we are here at Red Door, because that's so valuable. Because guess what? All of our owners now have tenants sitting in them right now.
Yep.
But guess what? Their competitors are still holding on to that 2195 that they're trying to achieve with their vacant property. So there
Yep.
you go.
Yep. Absolutely. And we continue to see it. Look at days on the market is, and we've seen this for the last, I don't even know how many months, but we've been highlighting this in Westfield. It's a struggle right now. 74 days on the market. That is a long time to be vacant. And that's, to Chris's point, is you've got to get that vacancy filled. You can't afford to have a vacant home for 74 days. You've got to be realistic about your price. And again, have that closer to 30 or less. Average price per square foot is $1.16. I think it's the highest that we've seen so far here.
Yeah.
$1.16 in Westfield, which is weird. It's up 23% month over month. That seems strange to me. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
Just an influx of inventory, I would suspect. So again, these investors are trying to achieve higher price points, driving up these numbers. But I wonder if they're actually achieving them. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
No. And we see that on the days on the market. You're striving to get that 2,400 or 2,500, and it's just not going to happen. So again, we break down apartments. So there's 23 apartments in Westfield. Average rents on the apartments is $1,817. Average price per square foot for an apartment in Westfield is $1.68. And then townhomes, we have seen. What's interesting to me is look at the number of townhomes versus the number of homes for sale. They're not almost equal, but they're pretty close. I mean, 43 townhomes and 66 single family homes. That's a lot of townhomes on the market. But honestly, what's curious to me is the days on the market is less on the townhomes than it is on the single family homes. Average rental price, Chris already mentioned this, for a townhome in Westfield, $2,025. Average price per square foot for a townhome is $1.35. So there's a good amount of townhomes on the market, and I know what those are. They're building a lot of them. Kind of curious. So we've got the three graphs down here at the bottom in terms of price over time. It is a pretty big dip from that January data in 2025 versus 2024. Look at that. Geez, that peaked out at almost 2,700.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty big dip from last year. That is huge. But you can see the price trend is down.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about it all year, last year. And as I mentioned, if I'm an investor, I'm not buying a new home in Westfield. I have several. I'm glad that I do. I'm glad I bought them when I did, but I'm not putting new dollars in here right now.
Yeah, and so just as we're closing out the rental market insights here, just want to make sure that if you didn't already catch our economic market updates on the front end of all of this, you want to go back and check that out. There is valuable data there, information that is concerning the Westfield market. So all that to say, if you currently own or in the process of closing on a potential property here in the Westfield area, it's not all doom and gloom. In fact, I'd say it's quite a rosy outlook for the Westfield area. So yeah, if I was in your shoes, Mike, had a couple already under my ownership, that's a good place to be for sure.
No, Chris, you're right, and it's not all doom and gloom. but it is a little bit rocky in the short term
Yep. Yep.
if you're looking for cash flow. That was kind of my point. But no, you're right. I'm super bullish on Westfield. I think it's a great area. I think it's a great area to continue to invest in. But a lot of our investors are looking for that cash flow.
Yep.
And if so, this is definitely not the play. But it is a good long term play in a extremely stable and high quality area.
Sounds great. Ready for sales?
Yeah, let's do sales data.
All right.
All right. Days on the market, 35. That's kind of about what we've been seeing kind of everywhere else, but that's it's good. Seems like a balanced market. That is down month over month, 8%. We don't have the historical for year over year quite yet. Average price per square foot is 191. That is up both month over month and year over year. And average sales price 374, 478. That is up almost 5% month over month, pretty much flat year over year.
Mm-hmm.
And then number of homes sold is 53. That is down 22% month over month and down 11% year over year. So we're getting a little bit of mixed signals here, but that is a trend that we're seeing is number of homes sold is down in most of these submarkets. So Chris might be right. We might be at a bit of a turning point in the market where the demand is going down a little bit.
Yeah, the more we go through these numbers as we're actually reporting them here now, I mean, even more so, I feel even more strongly about my specific sentiment on the market.
Yeah, yeah. Average price over time. We'll take a look at that and see how that develops over 2025. And the number of homes sold, bottom right, just to highlight, where these homes are available. In that, again, when we do these sales prices, it's under $500,000. So, what's curious to me is there's a lot of homes that are available under $300,000 in Westfield. I get alerts on them all the time. There's actually pretty good homes that are available that would make great rentals under $300,000. So they are still there. You don't have to spend 370 or 400. There are still some really affordable, good homes in the Westfield market for rentals.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's good stuff.
Yep.
If you're not already tuned in to all of our social media channels, you can conveniently find them here on the bottom of this infographic, bottom of all of these infographics, where you can find all of these market updates and real time information as again we're discovering here as we're on the ground. All right, Greenwood. I love Greenwood. This is another area that I relate. It's like the brother, sister, what have you, of the Noblesville area. I think it's a great market to be looking at. Let's see if some of the numbers would indicate the same. So, number of active homes currently, man, that is surprising to me. So this is all your rental information. We'll get into sales information in just a moment, but single family homes currently active in the Greenwood market is 100. 100. Okay. So, it's down from 113 month over month, but it's for some reason it's catching me off guard here. So average rental price at 1850, which is flat month over month, but you're up year over year by almost 5.5%. Average days on market. And this is one of the clear indicators that indicate a good market for me. Noblesville and Greenwood both consistently hover around the 30-day days on market. So here, smack in the middle of winter, we're at 45. It's not concerning even a little. We're up just over 4.5% month over month, and we'll hopefully track the days on market year over year as we continue to accumulate that data. Average price per square foot, 1 penny over your Indianapolis market report. So $1.04 is your average price per square foot, which is just under 1% month over month. Now, getting into apartments, again, yeah, this seems like much less of an apartment community in Greenwood. I felt the same way when I went over the Noblesville market, but apartments currently active in Greenwood is at 43. And your average rental price over time for your apartments is at $12.62 with an average square foot price of $1.40. Townhomes, yeah, even more so here. You have 3 townhomes currently on the market here in Greenwood. 1,200 average rental price, days on market at 28. Hey, pretty low average days on market. So if
maybe there's a market there, huh?
Maybe
underserved townhomes in Greenwood.
Yeah, forget Westfield. Buy a townhome in Greenwood. average price per square foot at $1.08. And your average rental price over time between single family homes, apartments, and townhomes is neatly indicated there on the bottom. Those graphics are going to indicate trend lines over time, which it's pretty squiggly as we enter what most would consider more of a normal market. So we'll see how that trends here over the next year.
Yeah. Honestly, Greenwood, this is a great report for Greenwood. Almost everything is pointing in the right direction.
Hmm.
Active homes is down, rental price is up, days on the market is up a little bit, but gosh, 45, like you said, in the middle of winter is
Yeah.
really fine. That's great. So yeah, all good things for Greenwood.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Let's see what it looks like on the sales side, see if that correlates. All right, sales data for Greenwood, January 2025, average days on market at 54. Wow, surprise. We're up 42% month over
Yeesh.
month. I mean, some people might be surprised, but if you've caught any of our previous market reports, this guy's not surprised. This guy's not surprised. We'll see how that trends. I can't wait to get into next month's to see if that continues. Average price. You're looking at $167 is your average price per square foot for a home in the Greenwood market, which is down month over month, but that's up almost 10% year over year. Average sales price in your investor point of view, so anything from 0 to 500,000, is right at 300,000. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think Noblesville was at 344. I'm pretty sure.
So
And so, I mean, this is even a lower entry point than Nobles, which makes sense. I mean, all the growth that's happening on the north side, it can't be matched by the south side as well. But a number of homes sold over the previous month. Here we are down month over month, but look at that year over year. It's up 34%, which I would probably contribute to just a lot of construction. So obviously, with more homes, they're picking up year over year. So 70 homes sold over the last month. Average sales price over time. I can't wait to track this. Again, super excited about this one and Noblesville to track those numbers over time. And a nice, neat graphic there of number of homes sold, specific $50,000 price points broken down for your individual consumption so that you can get an idea closer to the budget that you have. Mike, anything you want to add on the sales data?
no, and it kind of just the same thing I said on the other one, but there's a lot of homes, almost 300 homes under $250,000 available. So don't think you have to spend, $300,000 and $400,000. There's affordable homes still to be had in Greenwood, even as good as it is. So yeah.
All right. That'll do it for our Greenwood market report for January 2025. All right, now we're going to get into Anderson. Now, everyone that's been following us here for several months knows that this is a relatively new market that we've added, this one in addition to Lebanon, as we have kind of perceived Anderson as an up-and-coming type market. So we wanted to track the numbers to see if the data correlated with that idea. So number of active homes here in the Anderson market, you're at 66 active homes, which is down 8. Wow, is that 18% month over month?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
A little bit surprising there. Another one catching me off guard here on the front end. Your average rental price month over month up 4.7%, but down year over year, almost a matching figure. So $1,050 per month as your average market rent, which, you know what? I know that's up, right? Because we were stuck at $995.
Well, Chris, if you remember, so I think this is one of the areas where we're going to see a big difference in parsing out the data that we do
You're right.
now versus the way we did before. And if you look at, so yes, you're right. We were like, okay, we're going to predict that this is going to be over $1,000 in 2025.
Now we know why.
And now, well, here we are. Because look, if you look at the
Yep.
number of homes, 66. Look at the number of apartments, 184 versus, and then the average price is 773. So what we were looking at before was all of this blended together, and of course that led to, I think it was like 850 is what it was stuck at, maybe 895, something like that. But and so that's, to me, this highlights the importance of parsing this out, looking at single family and apartments and townhomes, and really getting a clearer picture of exactly what is what. Because those, well, one, look at, there's triple the amount of apartments available versus homes, and then that's almost a $300 price difference in the average average rental price per month for an apartment versus a single family home.
Yeah, that's so valuable to have specifically for a market just like this. You're right; those numbers were being driven down by those apartment figures. So this is great to have much more insight on what's happening single family versus apartment versus townhome.
Yep.
Your average days on market for a home in the Anderson area, which is super surprising to me. Again, average days on market's at 54, which is up almost 23% month over month. And average price per square foot almost matches what you're finding in the Indianapolis area, but down 1 penny at 102 for your average price per square foot. Now, we've already gone over a little bit of the apartment and townhome data there as we alluded to the separation between data going into 2025. So 184 apartments on the market at 773, and that comes in at an average price per square foot at $1.22. And then townhomes, not much to speak of there. We have 2 on the market, so I wonder who's living in those 2.
Nobody wants to live in a townhome in Anderson for some reason.
Yeah.
And there's 116 days on the market. Like,
Oh,
can't give them away for some
yeah,
reason.
exactly. Yeah, good point. Good point. At 58 cents, your average square foot. So we'll track those average rental prices over time as it's broken down into single family apartments and townhomes. And I mean, although as we've gone through all these market reports, these lines look the most stable, I think, out of all of them, is referring to the previous year in 2024.
Yeah, for sure.
Anything else you want to add to the Anderson rental market? Did we nail it?
I think we nailed it. I think, again, just highlighting how cool it is that we have broken this data down even further. This is one of the areas I think that highlights it, the importance of it. So, no, I think it's going to be cool to see this rental price over time, especially on the single family side, and cool to track that. So, looking forward to that.
Yeah, I can't wait to track that average rent over time. All right, let's jump into some sales data, which this is great if you're looking to enter the market. Here we go. Average days on market is 42. No surprise here. We're up 22.25% month over month, but year over year we are down almost 14, just over 14 and a quarter. Average price per square foot, $110 per square foot. Year over year, you're up 5.75. Average sales price at 152. This is a number that I seriously want to stay tuned into. But month over month, you're down 12%. Wow, down 12%, 152, 429. Number of homes sold over the last 30 days is down a little over 3.5% at 54. And here's your average sales price over time. It's a little bit wonky throughout 2024, but definitely closed out closer to 175. Actually, it was at 173 as we got through December. Last year's your average price for a home that sold in the Anderson market. Now, explain this graphic to me on the right here, Mike. Number of homes sold. So I guess there's not much out there that's that's really over 250, but certainly over 300.
Yeah, well, we talk about it every single month. Anderson is definitely the value play. This is the most affordable community that we highlight on these market reports. And you can see it in the average sales price of 150. You can see it that's by far average price per square foot. 110 is way less even than Indy. And you can see it in this bottom right graphic here. I mean, look at all those homes that are available. The vast majority of the homes that sold are under $200,000. So this is an affordability play, both for the investor and for ultimately the renter. And that's what you're seeing here in these charts is the affordability.
So if you're an aspiring real estate investor out there and you're like, I don't have as much as the other guy to invest, but I really want to get close or into the Indianapolis metro area, this could be the market for you. So stay tuned to Anderson. Reach out if you need any connections to building your team here in the Indianapolis or submarkets, and I'll be happy to connect you with a realtor that can potentially help you scout your next investment property.
Yeah, and then just on Anderson, just we talk about these economic insights, and a lot of times it's not in Anderson necessarily, but it is. There's a lot of stuff going on. We like this month we talked a lot about stuff about Fishers and Noblesville. All of that bleeds into Anderson. Anderson is probably 20 minutes away from kind of that Fishers, Noblesville, like that Hamilton Town Center. I don't know, probably maybe 15 or 20 minutes, I would think.
Yep.
And so if the average rent in Noblesville is $2,100 and in Anderson it's $1,000, that's a big difference for a 20-minute drive. So all of the point is for me is that all of that activity, all of that growth, all of that development that's coming into Fishers, Noblesville area only helps propel and push the Anderson market forward.
Absolutely. Anderson will undoubtedly benefit from that as well. Exactly.
Yep.
All right, that'll wrap our Anderson January 2025 market report on the rental and sales data, market insights. So let's get into, I think we're ready for the West
Yes.
Side Roundup. All
Got
right,
it.
I think I stole your Anderson market, didn't I?
That's all right.
Yeah,
You
okay.
probably did it better than I would have done it anyway.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the West Side Roundup. We're going to start here with Avon. And if you're new to joining us here, the West Side Roundup is just that, a roundup of your big suburban communities on the west side of Indianapolis. And we do it as a roundup because you'll quickly see here in just a moment how closely related all of the data is. It's kind of shocking, really, because it does cover a lot of the full west side of Indianapolis. So let's get into some of these numbers and see what they look like for January 2025. Now, I'm going to bleed through a lot of this, Mike, especially as we go through the rental and sales data. So jump in where you feel the need.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Number of active homes here in the Avon area, which doesn't surprise me much. The apartments and townhomes didn't figure into the previous year very much. You only have 9 apartments and 1 condo. So number of active single-family homes is actually up 20% month over month at 24. Your average rental price over time at $19.50, which is ticking down just ever so slightly, almost no need to mention. Average days on market at 28, which is down. Now that one we will mention. This is a beautiful number to see. Anything under 30, certainly in the winter months, is nice to see. Your average price per square foot at $1.04, ticking down almost 1%. And then, of course, I've already mentioned the number of apartments at 9, 1140 average rent, $1.35 your average square foot. And you see the condo numbers there for yourself. Anything you want to mention on that one?
No, you already mentioned it for me. The number to highlight is days on the market. 28 for January that's really unreal. And I think it kind of carries through to the other areas, but that's incredible. 28 days on the market is great. We've seen that for months and months on end.
Exactly. So. I know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let's see if it does carry over. All right. Avon sales information before we get into the other West Side Roundup markets. Average days on market for a home currently on the market for sale is 50 days on the market, which is up 21% year over year. These, if you missed on the front end of this, I kind of gave my futuristic outlook of the market to come, and a lot of these numbers, in my opinion, are indicating just that. Mike disagreed. Just note that for the record. Average price per square foot is $162. Your average sales price at $316 month over month. You're down approaching 6% there. Same thing on the year over year, actually. Homes sold 27, which is down 15.6%, and year over year down just under 16%. Check out your average sales price over time and your number of homes sold within that investor point of view at a time that's convenient. Anything on the sales side, Mike?
No, other than you may be right, Chris. Just as we go through this,
right,
the numbers seem to support your theory. I mean, we will see, but number of homes sold, days on the market. Number of homes sold is typically down. Average days on the market is typically up, in some pretty big fashions. So it's you may be right.
I love anything that makes you feel like you're clued into the market a little bit, and I definitely feel like this is indicating that I am a little bit clued in. But it also speaks to the value of the market reports that we're putting out. I mean, we're putting out much more valuable data than I would argue the local MLS will ever provide you. So, all right. Enough touting our own horns. Let's jump into the next market. We've got Brownsburg. Number of active homes in Brownsburg is at 26, up 8.3%. Average rental price at almost $2,000, but at $1,989, which is down year over year, almost 5%. Average days on market. Now this is a little bit higher. I am a little bit surprised of the differentiation here between our first market in Avon. 44 here in the Brownsburg market, with your average square foot price coming in right at $1. So that's surprising. Indianapolis was averaging at $1.03. Now,
that is surprising to me. I would not expect that. I would
from Brownsburg,
Brownsburg to have more price per square foot than Indy.
Yeah, I totally would. So now your apartments there at 11 currently active apartments in the Brownsburg area, coming in at an average price point of $1,245, and there's your much higher average price per square foot at $1.49. Townhomes 2, there's your data for townhomes. And you can track your average rent price over time in each one of those individual categories below in the graphics. Jumping over to sales data in Brownsburg if you're ready for it.
Do it.
All right, here we go. Brownsburg, your market insight on the sales side. So if you're a new investor or maybe you're wanting to build a portfolio, these are numbers that you're going to want to pay attention to in all of our markets. So here's what we're seeing. Average days on market, 51, which is up. Average price, 178, which is down month over month. But year over year, you're up almost 6%. Average sales price is down year over year as well as month over month at 306,492. Now, your number of homes sold again here. Wow, look at that. Month over month,
Wow.
down almost 50% in the Brownsburg area.
Jeez.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. So your average sales price over time, you can check out those numbers there. And then your number of homes sold, which is broken down very conveniently into $50,000 increments, all within your investor point of view, which we indicate at anything between 0 and 500,000. But you can see exactly what's being picked up and at what price point there in that sweet little graphic. Anything you want to add to the sales data there?
No, I don't think so. I think you pretty much nailed that.
Okay. All right. I think Mike's getting tired of me talking, but we got one left to go. We got Plainfield. Just sit tight over there. I'll take it from here, Mike.
Okay.
Plainfield. Here we go. Number of active homes, 25, up just over 4% month over month. Your average rental price over time is ticking up month over month, but down year over year at 2016. Average days on market at 48. Wow, this was closer to our Brownsburg. Yeah, Avon, man, we'll see if that continues as the year progresses. Average price, 97 cents.
Weird. It's so weird.
That is so weird. That is so weird. Apartments, 17 active apartments currently going on in Plainfield. 1195 is your average rent. And townhomes are non-existent because Plainfield said we don't want no townhomes around here, so they don't build them. No, I'm kidding. But that's your rental market insights for Plainfield. That's a fairly easy one there.
It's easy.
Let's jump into some sales insights. What's going on in Plainfield? Your average days on market is down at 49. I think that's the first one of these, the West Side. That's your days on market are actually down. Your average price is up. Maybe you should be looking at Plainfield as your next market to get into. At 171 is your average price per square foot, and that's up almost 10% year over year. Average sales price, 321. Homes sold in the last 30 days is down 60%. Down 30.
Nobody bought anything in January.
Nobody. No. Yeah, we better check on Plainfield. Make sure people are still moving over there. Homes sold down 60% month over month, down 35% year over year. Average sales price and your number of homes sold in exactly what price point there in the nice bar graph. Everything in the investor point of view from 0 to 500,000. That's going to wrap up our Westside Roundup. Mike, I'm going to let you close out the Westside Roundup if you got anything else to add.
No, days on the market is something to watch, because those specifically for Brownsburg and Plainfield for the past, I don't even know how many months, but it's almost been dead on like 30 or under for Avon, Brownsburg, and Plainfield. So we are seeing a little bit of a change. Used to be everything was so consistent, but the days on the market is creeping up a little bit on the rental side for Brownsburg and Plainfield. So definitely want to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, I completely agree. All right, it's going to be your turn. Take over. Boom.
All right, Whitestown. So I think we need to come up with a new thing. That was the Westside Roundup. This needs to be something corridor roundup. The Whitestown, I think Lebanon is next. So this does bleed into Lebanon and all of the activity that is happening up there. We talk about that quite a bit in our economic insights. There's a ton of activity going up there. There's a ton in Whitestown too. I think Lebanon kind of steals all of the press. But
yeah.
So Whitestown is definitely still developing, still growing, and I think we'll continue to grow just because of that bleed over from Lebanon. But let's jump into it. Number of homes on the market is 20. That's actually down 13% month over month. Average rental price $2,200. So up year over year, but down month over month. Days on the market a little high for my liking. 59 days on the market. That's up 11% from last month. So I'm not loving that. Even for January, that's a little bit high. I don't love that. And geez, look at this price per square foot, 86 cents on a price per square foot. That is shocking to me.
How's that possible in Whitestown?
Well, they do, a lot of it's new construction. And so they're probably building pretty big homes. I'd love to see average square feet on those. But that's my sense for that is a lot of new construction leading to probably bigger homes.
That tracks. Yeah. I'm sure you're
That's
right.
my guess. And not much of an apartment or townhome community. Only 8 apartments available with an average rental price of $16.11 or $1.43 a square foot. 4 townhomes available, so not really a thing there. If you want to live in a townhome, sounds like you need to go to Westfield because there's a ton of them there.
yeah. You're not going to find them in Plainfield. I'll tell you that.
No, not in Plainfield, not in Whitestown. Don't exist. And then price over time, you could just see we are trending up year over year for the single families. So that is good news. If you don't mind, let's jump into sales data.
Let's do it.
All right. Average days on the market, 34. That's kind of been about what we've seen, but that is actually down significantly year over year and month over month, down 50% almost year over year and 35% month over month. So that is significant. And gosh, the sales data looks real good. Price per square foot is up 16% year over year, up almost 9% month over month at 191. And sales price up, 21% year over year and 6.5%, 7% month over month for 388. Man, that is insane.
Yeah.
Number of homes sold. There is only 14 homes that sold in that. Again, this is under 500,000. And that is, look, Chris, it's down 26% month over month, down 12% year over year. We're seeing that as definitely a trend for sure. Something weird is going on here with this number of homes sold graphic. I'm gonna have to look into this because I can't believe that 614 homes sold in the 0 to 200 category. I'm thinking that is a typo. Let's call that a typo because that's
if not, we got to call our local realtor right now. We need to buy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call that wrong.
Yeah.
So, but you can see where the rest of the trend lines are there's lots of homes in the sub 3 to 350 range in the Whitestown. But man, that sales data looks really encouraging. I mean, just other than number of homes sold,
right,
looks really everything's heading in the right direction.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what continues to come here in 2025. I'm sure if you're watching this, you're probably feeling the exact same way because you caught our previous market reports and you want to stay in tune. So be sure to like and subscribe on all those channels below. But let's get into the next market report, which I think will continue down that corridor.
Yeah, I think it is. And Chris, I'll let you wrap it up. I think this is our last one, Lebanon.
You're going to let me have Lebanon. All right. That's been your corridor. But all right, fine. I'll take it. Here we go. Lebanon rental market insights. Number of active homes. Again, this is another small market. Really, I mean, Whitestown really is too, as far as number of properties. But Lebanon is a lot like that. But we're keeping an eye on Lebanon because if you're checking this out, I know you caught the economic updates, which these days almost always includes something going on in Lebanon. Like Mike alluded to in the Whitestown, Lebanon is stealing all the press these days as far as economic development. So this very well could be an incredible market to get into and be a part of as it continues to grow. But number of active homes currently in the market on the rental side is 13, which is up 30% month over month. So somebody's listening to us. Somebody's getting into that market because it's up 30% month over month. Average rental price over time, $1,595, which this number is not going to surprise me. I mean, we're up 30% on your number of active homes. So the data set in that average rental price, for previous months, which is going to indicate whether you're up or down month over month, is based on a very small number of properties. So month over month, it may look down nearly 11.5%, but I wouldn't worry too much about it. Average rental price at $1,595. Average days on market at 42, which is acceptable to me in the winter market. It's not something I would strive to, and it's something we certainly want to beat. But 42 days on the market is not all too terrible. Average price, wow, it's pricey to get into Lebanon. $1.50. Jeesh. Inflation hit Lebanon for sure. No, average price per square foot in the Lebanon area is $1.51. Apartments. We got 41 available apartments here in Lebanon, averaging $13.50 as your average price. And that's 85 cents per square foot. Townhomes, your data is there for your one single property. Anything else you want to mention on the rental data for Lebanon, Mike?
The only thing is, I think we're going to continue to see that the number of active homes is just, I think, going to grow as over the course of this year and years to come. You're seeing this community change quite a bit, grow quite a bit, and so, I mean, normally we wouldn't highlight a home or a area with only 13 homes on the market, but we're doing it because we believe that this area is it is an up and coming area. It's going to grow substantially. So you're going to see that number of active homes continue to grow and grow. And then the only other thing I wanted to say on that was, I truly believe that this is an underserved market. We actually, obviously we manage so short-term rentals as well, and we've actually been getting calls for areas not even close to. Actually, I think one was in Westfield, one was maybe in Fishers, but getting calls for people who are working on different things up in the Lebanon area and want kind of a mid to long term rental so they can work whatever they're doing up there. Anyway, to just goes to show you that it's underserved. They can't find what they want or need in the Lebanon market, and I think that's just going to continue. There's just so many people and so much going on and coming into Lebanon. There's going to be a need for rental homes.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, we're really covering all angles. Where we're covering, two, in my opinion, potentially flowering markets. We have Lebanon, where there's already a tremendous amount of economic improvement slated for the schedule. And then we have Anderson over here, which could be a flowering market, which is why we're following this, to see if over time it proves to be just that. But Anderson being a little bit different because it's getting it's getting some runoff from the market or the economic activity that's happening in the Noblesville Fishers area, and how much that might relate to that market, that affordable market, I will say. But Lebanon, I mean, here we are on the ground as there's literally economic things happening in that community, and we're going to track it from day one, which is awesome.
Yeah, super cool. Super exciting.
Well, Mike, I think that wraps up all of our market insights on the rental and sales side. No, we do have another sales side.
One more.
Almost called it too early. Here we go. Market insights on the sales side in Lebanon. Average days on market is 43. Which, man, wow, I'm shocked that that's up year over year, honestly, in Lebanon, but down month over month nonetheless. Your average price per square foot is $173, down 11%, but up almost 7.5% year over year. Average sales price at $276, which to me is still super affordable. And I'm gonna sneak a peek down at that graph just below it, because you'll see that it's a very affordable market to enter right now. Wow. Especially with all the development that's already approved and moving forward, you can get into this market. It looks like a lot of people are getting into this market right at between 200 and 250,000 for their purchase. So I think that's awesome. Homes sold is 15, which is still down. It kind of tracks all of our other market reports. Still, also kind of even surprises me for Lebanon, even though my futuristic outlook I provided earlier, but down month over month 21%, down year over year another 21%. Average sales price we can track over time, and I already gave you your sneak peek at your number of homes sold and your individual bars that indicate $50,000 differences between them. So you can see exactly at what price point people are putting their dollars into.
Yeah, I kind of the same thing for me on average sales price. I think we're going to see this change dramatically over time. What I have a sense is that, this is, I don't know how much builder data is going to be in this information, because a lot of builders don't put their information. We pull this from MyBor, the local realtor association. So there's not going to be builder numbers in here. And so I just have a sense that the actual average sales price is a lot higher if you were to consider new builds in this area. And I think we're going to see that come in the data over the next several years. So I think that this average sales price is going to change dramatically over the next couple of years.
That's great information to provide. Yeah, that builder activity is not going to be indicated in these numbers just yet. Yeah, that's a really good point. Well, I mean, Lebanon is a market I can't wait to keep an eye on. In addition to really all these markets, it's super awesome to continue to expand the data that we're pulling together for for new and aspiring real estate investors that are interested in entering the Indianapolis market. And that's going to wrap up our market insights for your Indianapolis metro and surrounding suburbs. Be sure to check back, see what's going on in the February 2025 market reports for next month. If you haven't already, check out our social links below there on the bottom of that graph. You can find us on all of our social medias, where all of this data, as well as a tremendous amount more, is going to be posted, each day, each week, each month. And then I'll even give you a little bit of a sneak peek here. We do have a mortgage lender that's going to be joining us for our podcast this month that I am super looking forward to. I think it's going to be a lot of valuable information for even active investors looking to expand their portfolios, whatever lending situation you might be looking at. But I know that we are going to take it from through the entire life cycle of your lending needs. So you're going to want to tune into that. And again, we're always here to help you build your team. So be sure to like and subscribe, reach out. Happy to provide any additional information or rental analysis should you be in the need. Mike, thanks for joining me. Anything you want to say to close this out?
No, this was fun, Chris. I love the new layout. I love the new data. I think it was a little bit longer, but definitely worth it. I think we're providing a lot of great information here. So love it. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be great going forward. All right, guys. We'll catch you guys in the next video. Be sure to like and subscribe. We'll catch you later.